What if the dirtiest threats to your health aren't hiding in some back alley fast food joint, but right in your local grocery store? The FDA might inspect them, the logos might look clean, but behind the polished aisles and smiling greeters, some of America's biggest grocery chains are quietly selling spoiled meat, bacteria-laced salads, rodent-infested snacks, and chemical-loaded cans, with no warning, no shame, and no accountability. According to FDA enforcement records between 2019 and 2024, over 6,400 violations were logged across major supermarket brands, including the same stores many working-class families and fixed-income seniors rely on to eat. So why hasn't anyone told you why are the most vulnerable Americans shopping in places that health inspectors would rather run from than regulate? This is the Downturn Report, where the truth gets personal. And today, we expose the 10 dirtiest grocery chains in America, the ones the FDA won't talk about, but your stomach probably already knows. Number 1, Publix. You'd never guess it from the cheerful jingle or the spotless linoleum floors of Publix, but some of the darkest secrets in American grocery retail hide behind a green apron and a warm, welcoming. What if the very store that feels like your hometown's safest corner is quietly built on exploitation, cover-ups, and cold corporate math? Have you ever imagined your family's chicken dinner came with a hidden side of labor raids, moldy meats, and political money trails? Let's start with that chicken scandal. In 2020, ICE stormed into Claxton Poultry, one of Publix's suppliers, in one of the biggest immigration crackdowns in recent U.S. history. Dozens of undocumented workers were arrested, parents vanished, kids waited at bus stops, and the factory floor barely blinked. The bosses, not a scratch. The rotisserie birds still spinning under heat lamps. Publix said nothing. It's as if silence itself was part of the seasoning. They claimed innocence. We didn't hire them. They said, but if you're profiting off someone's sweat, can you really wash your hands of it? That's like saying you didn't steal the pie, you just ate every slice. And while you're chewing on that, consider this. Publix refuses to join the Fair Food Program, a human rights agreement backed by everyone from Walmart to Taco Bell. Why? Because they don't get involved in labor disputes. That's like watching your neighbor's house burn down and saying you don't believe in water. Meanwhile, tomato pickers in Florida still work under brutal conditions to supply Publix's fresh subs. Back at the store, the smell of warm bread might distract you, but what's behind the counter tells another story. In 2023, FDA reports flagged microbial contamination on pre-cooked chicken in multiple Publix locations. Former employees described walk-ins thick with mold, expired deli meats slapped with new labels, and slicers so filthy they'd scare a raccoon. So no, that turkey club isn't just stale, it's practically a science experiment. And then there's the politics. Julie Jenkins Fancelli, an heiress to the Publix fortune, funneled over $650,000 into the rally that led to the January 6th insurrection. The company quickly tried to moonwalk away, but the damage was done when your groceries help bankroll chaos. It's time to ask, what else are you paying for? Still clinging to that warm and fuzzy Southern charm. Consider this. Publix has long resisted unionization, while backing politicians who fight minimum wage increases and healthcare protections. They'll throw you a free cookie, but cut corners where it hurts most. Which are your wallet, your health, and your conscience, if you're hungry for something cleaner. Not just in presentation, but in principle. Steer your cart toward Ingles markets, smaller, family-owned, and less tangled in corporate games. Or visit a local Amish or Mennonite market. The tomatoes may be ugly, but at least the truth isn't. Because maybe it's not about where shopping is a pleasure. Maybe it's about where shopping stops making you sick. Number 2, Dollar General. If Publix hides its mess behind green aprons and Southern manners, then Dollar General doesn't even bother with the disguise. It stands in plain sight. Tired, cheap, and unapologetically stripped down. A store of last resorts. You don't go to Dollar General because you want to, but because you have to. When the car's nearly out of gas, the fridge is empty, and the wallet's on life support. There's always a DG glowing at the edge of town like a neon band-aid over a deeper wound. But what if that glow hides something darker than just low prices? Let's not sugarcoat it. Dollar General has a rat problem, and we're not talking in metaphors. In 2022 alone, federal and state inspectors documented massive rodent infestations across dozens of stores, especially in the South and Midwest. Thousands of droppings were found near baby formula, crackers, and cereal. One Arkansas store had live rats chewing through food boxes in plain view. Corporate response: keep the doors open. Tell employees to wipe it down and move along, as if paper towels could scrub away contamination or corporate indifference. They paid the fines in millions USD, quietly, then went right back to selling snacks next to droppings, because when your customer base has no other choice, why worry about consequences? And it doesn't stop with rodents. DG has flunked refrigeration inspections repeatedly, spoiled milk, warm eggs, meat sweating behind faulty cooler doors. During summer, failed air conditioning has turned stores into slow roasting ovens. Some ex-employees revealed spoiled frozen food was simply refrozen and relabeled, as if a sticker could erase bacteria. Think of it as Frankenfood, stitched together by desperation and duct tape. Then comes the most insidious part: Dollar General targets food deserts, those low-income zip codes where real grocery stores have packed up and left. And into that vacuum, they pour sodium-packed junk, ultra-processed carbs, and barely a vegetable in sight. According to the Journal of Public Health Nutrition in 2022, communities saturated with DGs show sharply higher rates of hypertension and type 2 diabetes, especially among seniors who rely on them for daily essentials. But the poison isn't just on the shelves, it's behind the scenes. The U.S. Department of Labor fined DG over $15 million between 2017 and 2023 for workplace violations that sound like something out of a horror film. With locked emergency exits, broken alarms, one employee running an entire store alone at night. In Alabama, a store manager was stabbed during a robbery after begging for security support. Headquarters didn't even blink. All this from a company that makes over $30 billion a year. You'd think they could at least afford a working freezer and a night guard. But here's the real outrage. Despite all this, DG remains the only food source for thousands of communities. What does that say about a country where our poorest neighbors must choose between hunger and health hazards? And yet, there are options, if you know where to look. Some towns now offer mobile produce trucks that accept EBT and bring fresh vegetables straight to low-income areas. Local food box programs, often run by churches or nonprofits, provide cleaner, safer alternatives. And while it may sound surprising, even discount chains like Big Lots have earned better sanitation scores and rotate stock more responsibly. So if the next time you walk into a store and it smells like bleach, baloney, and something dying in the walls, trust your gut. That's not a grocery store. That's a warning sign dressed in discount tape. Number 3, Kroger. If Dollar General is the last resort and Publix the polished lie, then Kroger is the great American illusion. It presents itself like the friend who doesn't ask for much. Not too flashy, not too shady, just dependable enough to earn your weekly paycheck. It's the beige cardigan of grocery stores, which are safe, familiar, but forgettable. You walk in for eggs and leave with a cart full of fuel points and a lukewarm sense of belonging. But here's a question no cashier ever asks. What if the most expensive thing you took home wasn't even on your receipt? Because behind the soft lighting and generic pop music, something rancid has been stewing. Start at the meat counter if you've eaten recently. In the past 3 years alone, Kroger has been hit with multiple USDA recalls involving its ground beef, sliced deli meat, and packaged turkey. In 2021, more than 96,000 pounds of ground beef sold under its house brands were pulled for potential E. coli contamination. 1 year later, Listeria made a comeback in the ham and turkey section, long after it had already landed in school lunches and senior centers. Consumer Reports in 2022 delivered another gut punch. Nearly 1 in 3 samples of Kroger-branded meats tested positive for dangerous bacteria. So if you're wondering why dinner keeps ending with Pepto-Bismol, maybe the problem isn't your stomach, but your supermarket, and don't think the produce aisle gets a pass. Kroger's been fined repeatedly for mislabeling conventional produce as organic, mispricing inventory, and slapping local stickers on fruit grown 1,000 miles away. That's not farm to table, that's fraud to register, but the decay goes deeper. Into the break rooms, the parking lots, the homes of its employees. In 2022, thousands of Kroger workers from Colorado to West Virginia went on strike. Why poverty wages? dangerous work environments, and unpredictable shifts. One employee revealed he lived out of his car. Another said he wore adult diapers during 12-hour shifts because bathroom breaks weren't guaranteed. Think about that the next time you're bagging your groceries. Meanwhile, the executives. They're not just eating, they're feasting. During the height of the pandemic, Kroger ended its hero pay, a meager $2 bonus for frontline workers, while awarding the CEO over $22 million in compensation. That's not cost-cutting, that's corporate cannibalism. And when cities tried to fight back with hazard pay laws to protect workers, Kroger's response was swift and shameless. They closed stores. Entire communities lost their only nearby grocery option, not because of profits, but because someone dared to demand decency. That's not a business strategy, just a blackmail in a shopping cart. So what do you do when the store you thought was just fine turns out to be rotten from the top down? You look elsewhere. Look. Fresh Thyme Market offers cleaner sourcing, honest pricing, and better treatment for workers. In the heartland, Hy-Vee stands out with employee ownership and higher safety standards. And don't overlook your local food co-ops. Many now take EBT and senior vouchers, and their prices for basics like potatoes, oats, and seasonal greens might just surprise you. Because here's the truth Kroger won't put on a label. They don't care if you get sick, or if your sandwich came from a deli where no one's had a lunch break in 3 days. As long as you swipe your loyalty card, they'll keep smiling. But maybe it's time someone else swiped left. Number 4, Walmart. You walk into Walmart thinking you've outsmarted the system a cart full of savings, a week's worth of meals for the price of a dinner out, maybe even a Bluetooth speaker tossed in for good measure. The slogan said it best save money, live better. But here's a reality check. What if saving money is the very thing costing you your health? Because while Walmart talks big about bargains, what you're really getting is a masterclass in cutting corners. And the first place to smell it? The deli. Reports from the FDA and internal investigations have painted a foul picture in recent years. Mold growing in refrigeration units, contaminated slicers, chicken reheated not once, but twice, not for taste, but to disguise the smell of rot. In 2023, NBC uncovered that expired lunch meats were still being served, and one ex-employee admitted under oath they sprayed Febreze in the rotisserie case to cover the sour stench. Think about that your dinner was freshened like a gym bag. And if you think that stench stops at the deli counter, think again. In 2022, Walmart was hit with a class action lawsuit for mislabeling imported fruit as locally grown and selling pesticide-treated strawberries as organic. Watchdog groups ranked them dead last in produce freshness, with some stores seeing spoilage rates as high as 25%, particularly in high turnover items like lettuce and berries. That means your salad may have been rotting on the shelf longer than your leftovers at home, but what truly stinks is the business model. Walmart thrives on selling massive volumes at razor-thin margins. That pressure trickles down the entire food chain, to suppliers who cut quality to stay in the game, to employees who are told to ignore broken coolers, to store managers who play musical labels with expiration dates. Because tossing spoiled cheese loses money, and if the shrink wrap's still tight, who's going to notice the result savings on your receipt? Sickness in your gut, and it doesn't end with your stomach. The toll on workers is just as disturbing. Over a 5-year period, the U.S. Department of Labor cited Walmart for over 1,400 labor violations, including forced overtime, denied breaks, and retaliation against whistleblowers. In 2021, hidden camera footage captured managers re-shrink wrapping meat to extend its shelf life. If the badge says great value, you might want to double check whose value they're talking about. And let's not forget the cans. In 2020, ProPublica revealed that Walmart's private label canned goods, including beans and soups, contained high levels of BPA, a chemical linked to infertility and cancer, for those on fixed incomes. Canned vegetables are a survival item, but at Walmart they came with a silent, toxic twist. So next time you hear that cheery, "Welcome to Walmart," ask yourself, are you walking into a deal or a trap? If you're ready to shop without regret, consider Smart & Final, a regional grocer that keeps pricing low without treating safety like a suggestion. Or look into Grocery Outlet, which stocks brand name surplus inventory with strict date monitoring for bulk buyers. Azure Standard's co-op deliveries bring organic staples to your door without the chemical side dish. because Walmart didn't become a giant by feeding America well. It got there by feeding off the belief that cheap equals harmless. And once you peel back the sticker on that value item, the question becomes how much of that savings came straight out of you. Number 5, Safeway. The name says safe, but lately, stepping into Safeway feels more like a roll of the dice. It sells itself as the adult in the room clean, dependable, the kind of place where you imagine suburban calm and bargain-conscious retirees pushing squeaky carts through softly lit aisles. The red and white logo once gave the impression of trust, like a porch light left on for you, but somewhere between the loyalty cards and the leaky coolers, Safeway stopped being a grocery store and started becoming a guessing game. Let's talk about what's hiding behind the cold glass, or should we say, lukewarm glass. Across the past decade, Safeway stores in states like California, Oregon, and Colorado have repeatedly failed refrigeration checks. In 2021, a leaked internal audit exposed that deli coolers in more than a dozen locations routinely hovered above 45 degrees Fahrenheit, ideal for bacteria, but not so great for your turkey sandwich. Employees were reportedly told not to fix the units, but to rotate the stock faster, because apparently, food safety is a stopwatch game now. Nothing quite says fresh like a rotisserie chicken that's taken a sweaty little spa day. And it gets worse. In 2020, Safeway was fined for leaving expired baby food and recalled infant formula on shelves well past the federally mandated removal date. These weren't last-minute errors. We're talking weeks. Weeks where someone could have unknowingly spooned spoiled nutrition into an infant's mouth while the store shrugged, and while they're fumbling with safety. Safeway is also playing mind games at the register. Their club card savings sound generous until you realize the base prices were inflated to begin with. A 2022 investigation by the Denver Post revealed that many discounts were illusions, with prices marked up and then marked back down as deals. An apple that was 99 cents last week becomes a $1. 50 special if you flash your card. It's like a magic trick, only your wallet disappears instead of a rabbit. The rot isn't limited to what's on the shelf. Behind the scenes, Safeway workers have faced chronic understaffing, health coverage cuts, and retaliation for speaking out. In 2021, staff in Washington state staged walkouts after hazard pay was slashed mid-pandemic, all while being pushed into longer shifts. Some employees were literally stocking groceries they couldn't afford themselves, surviving on Medicaid and SNAP benefits. Meanwhile, profits climbed, still not flinching. Here's the bruised cherry tomato on top. Multiple former employees anonymously confessed that expired produce was often rinsed, trimmed, and rebagged as fresh. One even admitted, if it wasn't growing mold, we called it sellable. So much for that crisp-looking lettuce. If you're tired of grocery shopping that feels like roulette, there's a way out. In Texas, H-E-B has built a reputation for clean stores, fresh food, and workers who actually get to use a bathroom during their shift. If you're elsewhere, Molly Stone's Market or Festival Foods offer regional alternatives with higher standards and less deception. And don't sleep on your local ethnic markets. Latin, Korean, or Middle Eastern grocers often beat Safeway not just on price and freshness, but in basic human decency. No games, no gimmicks, just food. Because while Safeway sounds like security, the reality is starting to smell a little off, and in this economy, stale trust might be the most dangerous thing in your cart. Number 6, Food Lion. The name Food Lion makes you think of something strong, proud, even majestic. But under that royal branding is a chain that's been quietly trading its crown for coupons and cutting corners for decades. Back in the 1990s, an undercover primetime live investigation caught Food Lion employees bleaching expired meat and repackaging rotten chicken with new labels. The excuse? It's not bad, just old creatively. That was 30 years ago, but the stink hasn't cleared. In 2019, a South Carolina Food Lion was shut down for serving undercooked chicken and storing raw meat above salad. In 2022, North Carolina shoppers complained about beef that smelled like wet dog. Food Lion's response? A $5 coupon across Virginia and Georgia. Former employees describe a culture of clean it only when corporate visits. Spoiled food is pushed to the back. Refrigeration issues are ignored. And in many stores, actual butchers and bakers have been replaced by reheated meat and frozen bread passed off as fresh. In 2021, a Virginia store was fined for leaving expired dairy on the shelves weeks past due. if you're on a tight budget. Spoiled yogurt isn't just inconvenient, it's dangerous. So skip the jungle act. Waste Markets offers real freshness. Earth Fare trades gimmicks for clean goods. Or head to your local Mennonite store where food is still sacred, not shrink-wrapped and shuffled. Number 7. Target. Target feels like a safe bet, the prettier cousin in the big box family. Calming music, clean aisles, and that red bullseye promising a better shopping experience. But under all the scented candles and throw pillows hides a grocery section that's anything but charming. In 2022, food audits revealed dangerous levels of Campylobacter and Salmonella in Target's cooked rotisserie chickens. One whistleblower said birds were undercooked by up to 15 degrees, and instead of fixing the issue, corporate told stores to turn up the heat lamps. Then came the beef. In late 2023, a viral video showed Target's ground beef turning green within hours. The USDA traced it to poor transport storage, but no recall was issued. Instead, Target quietly pushed those questionable packs to rural stores, and the produce a mess. Moldy apples, sour-smelling lettuce, and strawberries that turn white and fuzzy before they leave your fridge. A 2022 Consumer Report ranked Target dead last for produce freshness. Even the salad kits aren't safe. The Good and Gather Caesar was flagged for listeria twice. The grocery staff overworked, undertrained, and expected to juggle safety, stocking, and customer service often alone. Want a better bet? Rayleigh's, Redner's, or New Seasons offer cleaner, fresher, safer choices, because Target might win on lighting, but not when it comes to lunch. Number 8. Whole Foods. Whole Foods used to feel like a shrine for clean eating where kombucha flowed and kale reigned. But since Amazon took over, the vibe has shifted from wellness retreat to upscale warehouse with organic stickers. Let's start with the Hot Bar. Once the chain's crown jewel, it's now a warmed-over buffet of cut corners. In 2022, Business Insider revealed that several stores sold moldy meals and slimy greens thanks to a cost-cutting streamlined quality control system. Translation: fewer checks. More funk, same high price. That organic label, not so holy anymore. A 2023 investigation by the Cornucopia Institute found that some Whole Foods brand organics were sourced from overseas mega farms with sketchy records. One tomato supplier in Mexico had been cited for banned pesticides. Still made it into your salsa. Even their bread has gone rogue. In 2021, Whole Foods quietly reformulated 365 brand bakery items using cheaper flour and preservatives with no label update. And the salad bar staff admitted to dressing up old ingredients in vinaigrette or giving them new names. Fermented root mix was just 5-day-old beet salad. As for the workers, hours are down, surveillance is up, and unionizing. Good luck you're being watched. Want real organic? Try Natural Grocers, Fresh Market, or your local food co-op. No algorithms, just food. Number 9, Save-A-Lot. Save-A-Lot looks like a lifeline for tight budgets, dollar canned goods, family-sized cereal bags, and enough food to fill a cart without emptying your wallet. But the truth, you might be saving cents while risking your health. The FDA has repeatedly cited Save-A-Lot stores for live rodents, cockroaches in prep areas, and even mouse droppings inside food packaging. One Florida store sold hot dog buns with droppings inside still on the shelf. From 2019 to 2023, over 30 recalls hit Save-A-Lot canned veggies, frozen chicken, even items with undisclosed spoilage odors. Translation: it smelled rotten. And they didn't tell you. Their supply chain, not much cleaner. Investigations revealed private label meats packaged in plants with serious sanitation issues and labor violations. Some facilities were linked to abusive overnight shifts with undocumented workers. Produce limp, bruised, or flat out crawling. One viral video showed apples infested with larvae and a manager calling it still organic. Worst of all, Save-A-Lot targets food desserts, then fills shelves with ultra-processed junk, sugary cereals, sodium bombs, and mystery meat sauces. A 2021 Brookings report linked the chain to worsened health outcomes in low-income areas. Better options: giant food stores, Piggly Wiggly, or local food co-ops offer safer choices, no roaches required. Because sometimes, Save-A-Lot means losing more than just money. Number 10, Dollar Tree. Everything for $1. It sounds like a miracle until you realize the price tag hides something rotten. Dollar Tree's expansion into frozen meals, eggs, and even ready-to-eat sandwiches came without the infrastructure real groceries need. Most stores lack proper cold storage, have minimal staff, and zero trained food handlers. The result: spoilage, shortcuts, and serious risks. In 2022, USA Today exposed stores with leaking freezers, rodent droppings, and even dead birds above a warehouse ceiling. One Arkansas distribution center shipping to over 400 stores was shut down by the FDA after rat carcasses were found near crackers that still went out to shelves. In 2023, Dollar Tree was again cited for failing to remove recalled foods, including listeria-tainted baby snacks and expired canned soups. Some stores sold them months after public warnings. Why skeleton crews? One person running the register, cleaning bathrooms, and rotating meat. One ex-manager said if it didn't smell like death, we restocked it, even the canned goods loaded with sodium. Banned preservatives, and BPA, a disaster for heart patients and seniors. Fresh produce. Forget it. Dollar Tree's idea of fruit is a gummy peach ring. Better options exist. Farm share, free fridges, and regional food rescue groups offer real, safe food without the side of rat droppings, because cheap food isn't cheap if it sends you to the hospital. If these stores are what we're left with, what does that say about the system we trust to feed us? You deserve better. Don't settle for what's cheap demand, what's safe. Share this video. Speak up and support real food sources, because your health is worth more than a markdown sticker.
Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our daily content. Now feel free to check out some of the newest and best videos currently shown on your screen. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.